So, looking at this week's astrology, it's a lot different than what we've been going through because, of course, we've been seeing so much fast energy. But yet it's almost been an illusion because at the same time we're in some of the slowest energy in the zodiac with 5 planets retrograde and Mercury that was really fast in Virgo and its home sign, and the sun moving into Virgo, and now Mercury's chilled out now in Libra. Venus is in Libra, and Venus has been pretty chilled out, not had to make really any hard aspects, just kind of been chilled out. But this week, Venus is going to make a square to Pluto while trining Jupiter. So this is going to be a very transformational and intense week, especially when it comes to love, but also when it comes to all of our lives and really looking at how we can bring more balance into our life. It's going to depend definitely on people. We're dealing with Venus in Libra. We're dealing with Jupiter in Aquarius. We're dealing with Pluto in Capricorn. And what I keep coming up with and what I keep looking at is there's just so much in this world that we continue to look at and have attachments to that aren't really there anymore. You know, the structures are really falling away in the world, and that includes in our own life the structures, the rules, and the barriers that we keep for ourselves with love, relationships, people, friends, society. These are very intense aspects, and also a lot dealing with, you know, whether it is the courts or judgment in our own lives and the judgment calls we're making about how we want our lives to be as a collective. But the big news this week, which almost goes kind of unseen, but for those that are aware, really does become seen, is Mars opposing Neptune, having to put our egos down and listen to what our soul says and redefine our soul and our reality by looking at how we redefine our ego, because really the soul re-identification is just getting rid of the ego's identity of this reality of how we think it should look in a certain way. And there's so many people on this planet, there's so many souls trying to come together and bring all this stuff. If this is it's gotten to a point to where I'm going to be honest with you, it's just like, yeah, I've heard that one. Well, I heard that one. Yeah, I heard that. I mean, it's like we've all, how much more of the same, data out there? And like people, it's just kind of becoming a little bit like numbing, which is definitely Mars opposed Neptune. But at the same time, we don't want to go into some sort of crazy wild storm by going against our soul, by not listening to our intuition. And that's hard because we can be very compassionate with Neptune and Pisces. And so this week, the ego does help too, because in any opposition, there's definitely a tug of war. But especially with Neptune in its home sign, it's going to win this war. But at this Mercury or this Mars in Virgo is definitely saying, hey, okay, yes, I got to drop a lot of my control issues. I would say especially with Mars going to start trining Pluto and Capricorn, and especially about the control of how we feel things have to be and being too nitpicky about little things and getting too stressed out too. This could be a lot of like relief of stress, especially that's what this Libra Venus is helping us with. And this Libra Venus is, something to really look at as a positive, because if you just come into September, as we're going to do, we're going to see Venus drop into Scorpio, which is at its, detriment. We're going to see the sun, yes, we're still in Virgo. We haven't been through a Virgo new moon yet, but let's appreciate a planet in its home sign that's a positive inner planet that's actually moving and not retrograde, even though it is slowing down, believe it or not, because Venus is going to retrograde at the end of this year in Capricorn with Pluto. But from now until we see that retrograde of Mercury at the end of the month, I really feel that it's important for us to really start taking as much as we can in our lives into a much more soul place and realizing the appreciation that we have to find in things that are beautiful. And what are those blocks that we keep coming up with? Venus square Pluto brings up blocks, It's like, especially Pluto and Capricorn is like, oh gosh, I don't want to let go of some sort of control in my life or how I get to where I want to go. But Jupiter's trying to tell us like, hey, let's look at something new. Let's try something new. Let's look at people from a different place. But we also don't want to get lost into too much compassion, where we get lost into trying to help situations out or become helpless in ourselves over things that really aren't going to work for our reality. So it's a very delicate balance, which is why Libra is helping us out balance these issues and look at the true judgment of them and look at really in our lives, whether it's our relationships or our jobs or the world at large, we've got to take a look at things while at the same time listen to what our gut and our intuition says and add that to the weighing out on the table. And with Mars opposed Neptune, we can definitely try and needle our eye through the eye of the storm. But I think that this is the only way to really thread your way through is to take your ego off for a second. And things that are not spiritually cleared are definitely going to come up when it comes to things that you're trying to push in your life and your ego. We're in a lot of slow energy. I mean, the fastest moving planet, and I'm not including the sun, moon, is Mars right now at its full speed. Now, literally speaking, Mercury's still the fastest planet, and then comes Venus, and Mercury's slowing down, and Venus is both slowing down because they're both getting ready for their retros, even though it's a lot longer for Venus, but they're not at their full speeds. But what I mean by the planet at its full speed is Mars. And it's coming into a really slowed down Neptune. And so this is definitely a spiritual check in your life of what are you doing, especially with your identity, especially with your reality. Is this really the identity that you're going to go for? Is this really your soul calling? Is this really what you ready to go into a crazy radical storm? Because Neptune's very enticing. So it'll entice you and look like candy and look like this beautiful thing. But at the same time, you could be wearing the deepest rose-colored glasses ever. You'd have the beer goggles on, and next thing you know, you're at the bar in the bathroom, and you're in the wrong bathroom with the wrong person. So be careful out there, and that applies to all parts of your life. Like, really, I know it's so numbing because it almost feels like, oh, yeah, everything's going kosher. Everything's going this direction, even though I know a lot of people out there are kind of like freaked out about the world. But remember, South Node is in Sag. North Node is in Gemini. Focus on the environment you want. Focus on the facts and focus on the things that, you know, maybe you don't need to have some sort of full understanding of, but also don't get lost by holding yourself back by having to know everything before you do it. But don't aim that not knowing into areas that factually you know is an environment that stresses you out or brings you anxiety or brings you into places that you can't see yourself really in that reality, or you can't see yourself really in that truth. And this is really a deep calling to truth. So we're going to look at the cards now for the collective this week in love, see what's going on. I'm using a couple new decks. I'm using the black and gold tarot. I'm using this new occult tarot deck. I don't know, I'm just playing around with a bunch of different stuff. So it's going to be interesting to see what we got here. We got some people in the chat. Why don't you share this video so we get some people up in this chat? I got my iPad out so I can actually see the chat more, and I'm going to be watching this chat. See that? Yeah, Maya's got it to where you can see it right now. I'm seeing what's going on. This chat's weak right now. Weak. Should be sharing it. Get people in there. There's a share button. There's a like button too. Although maybe it's just because I joined before it went live. I can actually like look now. But when I just went in there, I was like, what? One like? We're getting there. Oh, thanks for the super chat. Truly appreciate it. All right, let's see what's going on with the collective in love this week. Woo! Sending the best energy to everybody out there and wishing you the best with this Venus trine Jupiter especially. Oh, we got the Ace of Swords as our first card. Our challenge card here is Four of Cups upright. Ooh. Ace of Pentacles is our overall spiritual card reversed, and then our way through this and whoever you're thinking about and so forth. Queen of Wands reversed. Well, I like this Ace of Swords. I just don't like that Ace of Pentacles reversed. I mean, it's a good idea for things and how we want things to go and make change, but what's the challenge? here's this cup flying in the air with everything that God wants to give you, and you're like not willing to take it, or you're really over something and you're really dissatisfied and you don't know how to deal with how to make those changes. I would say that's definitely a collective overall thing. And an Ace of Pentacles reverse, kind of lost in knowing how to really get things into that new energy physically and to manifest that way. You could also be dealing with, these are aces, so they're really weird. We're, of course, going to do some clarification. But we got that Queen of Wands here as a way to get through this challenge, and it's reversed. It's like, stop being such a cold person with your heart, or stop being with people that really you don't see yourself falling in love with, or stop blocking yourself from that love. You know, Queen of Wands, she is the ultimate lover. She is the one that not only just brings that regal and that love, but the loyalty element. And this is like, also Queen of Wands reverse might be like, where do your loyalties lie? And are they in the wrong places, the wrong people, the places where Four of Cups sitting under a tree, not happy, don't even want to take what it is? Because this could be a very dissatisfied person who's like, I don't want it. I'm really not happy with these other 3 cups. Or it's like, you know, I don't know why I don't want anything right now. And it could be the most amazing thing. So we'll get a little bit more clarity on this. We got 2 of Swords here. Definitely, yeah, great ideas, but also people are very lost trying to make decisions and trying to understand where things are going to go. There's definitely some hard decisions to make, but remember, you already know where I like how this sword is coming out the top of that 2 of Swords. At least that Ace of Swords there is to remind us, like, you know where the higher ground is. Why are you still moping around and trying to get lost in these small little things? Or I'll get a little clarification on that one. I'll use this occult tarot deck and see. I don't know. What's this decision about? Or this could be, you could be dealing with somebody who's really confused, or somebody who's very anxious and doesn't know where to go. There's a lot of hesitation with this card too. But there's that Ace of Swords. It's just trying to say, like, let's pierce through that and let's get victory. Let's get that beautiful energy. And communications will be very key this week, but you're going to have to communicate. We got a 5 of Pentacles in reverse. So hesitation regarding what? Do you think you're going to be in a bad place again, or get self-worth issues, or feeling like, you know, I feel like these are like unwarranted, like, decisions. I hate to say that. It's almost like wasting your time on tripping out about things going sour and bad, and things going into a way, or somebody not good enough, or stuff like that. Like, if somebody's not good enough, they're not good enough. Like, is there really a lot to process there? What's going on with that Ace of Pentacles reverse? We got the Sun card. So I like this. I love seeing this Sun card here. It's time to just live your life. You can't get to that Ace of Pentacles that's going to bring you the amazing life that you can actually physically have in your love life if you're not willing to have fun, and you're not willing to go live in the happiness, live in that solar energy, live in that youthfulness. But also it's I don't know. I don't want to say unhinged. It's childlike wonder. It's not forced to be a certain way because it wants to be a certain way. It wants to express itself. This shows me a lot of issues with expressing, or shyness around expression. A lot of Swords and this Queen of Wands reversed. Like, we can only manifest if we really are going to do what we truly want, and that's going to really bring us our true happiness in our life. We're not going to get it the other way around. Hold on one sec. I didn't realize these weren't out. There we go. Oh, doesn't matter. Just shuffling these Astro Black Moon Tarot cards real quick to give us some Astro insight for the collective. What the hell is going on here? I feel like I'm going to pull this another couple cards here. What's going on here with this Queen of Wands? Well, King of Pentacles. So, you know, we are some stubborn human beings on this planet, I will tell you that. But we also have good reason to be for the things that we really want. If you're not really into something, with that Queen of Wands reversed and that 4 of Cups, I think there's going to be a lot of people who are just like not attracted to their partner, or they're over their partner. And then singles out there, it's like anybody who's I don't know, not showing up or not really wanting to make it happen, then it's not worth your time. Stop wasting your time. This is definitely a lot about stop wasting your time and go live the awesome life that you could have with that solar energy and that sun card and that fun element and that, fun's what makes all love happen. We got the Mars card. Holy smokes. Oh man, it's going to get pretty intense up in here, and definition wise, it also does rule sex. So, but you got to take action too. You can't just sit around and just be like, well, I don't know what to do. I don't know. But hesitation is going to be your worst enemy when it comes to love this week. Well, what do the unicorns got to say? On this collective reading, I'm kind of getting always situated first, and then we roll much quicker. What do the unis got to say to this one? We got the Cosmic Emerald here. And this Cosmic Emerald is saying create perfect, I'm reading this off the TV, health, access, divine abundance. Well, that goes with that King of Pentacles really good. That goes with that Queen of Wands in reverse really good. And that Four of Cups. It's like, hello. I got a feeling it's almost like if it's not accessing the divine abundance of something, like I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, if you're feeling like somebody doesn't value you, or you're feeling like something's really not worthy of holding it, or they're not feeling worthy of holding you, or weird shit like that, then it's like, it's their Cosmic Emerald there? I don't think so. I feel like, we don't want to go into Emerald City either. I don't want to go to Emerald City, do you? And start going down that yellow brick road and to like having to hang out with some jalopies along the way and end up with some weirdo fucking at Emerald City. Like, I just don't. I want to go to the Cosmic Emerald City. Now, what do the vampire cards have to say on this? Oh, man. I feel like this is definitely just dealing with a bunch of waste time energy. Or why are you wasting your time with something that you know is just not what you really want? This is definitely bringing up carnal desires and emotions that are just like either stagnant, not there, lost, and pivoting fast and moving to where that is. I mean, definitely that Mars card here. Wow, the Death Rights card. Well, bye-bye, saying goodbye. Formal occasion, honoring lives, but there's definitely like a death element to with the Sun card here. It's a life and death. It's a death and life, This is definitely going to be interesting. I'm just going to pull a couple cards just to clarify. We got King of Wands reversed with the Mars card. So I think that the issue with Mars and our action is we're not championing the love that we want. We might have a lot of fears around that, about really securing that place of happiness and love and knowing how to express that. That Cosmic Emerald, wow, look at that. Two of Cups, the soulmate card. Definitely some soulmate shit going on here in our challenge row about who's soulmate or what's the right soulmate. And is it really the regal thing that we want to hold on to? Or do they have that? Is it really the most attractive thing that we want to have? Or do they own that value? And is it something that you really even want in your life? But that soulmate energy is like, it's either you're a true soulmate or not. And you know that. I'll give you one more clarifier on that. Six of Swords, move towards the real soulmate energy. Stop and move towards the soulmate energy. Stop rowing in the wrong direction and staying on the wrong side. Why did we get this Death Rights card here? Page of Swords. Oh, this is so much truth coming up, and quick, fast truth, and also how fast excited people are. People aren't excited about wanting to go live in the sun, and actually that's the only way to make this Ace of Pentacles happen in reverse, like the truth and the physical reality and the touch and the have and the feel and the physical life. What are you doing? Ganesha wise, we did just get the New Beginnings card. Whoa. That's the first card in the deck. What are these New Beginnings about? We're going to pull some majors here and finish this off. Well, I'm definitely feeling like these are definitely, endings and beginnings and new starts in many ways. This is not about continuing prune juice to make your bowel movement easier. Well, that popped out. The world reversed. What did we get with this? The Empress. Well, this is definitely a lot about manifesting the love that we want and the happiness that we want, but it's almost like we're afraid to enter into that new world and those new beginnings, and we can't do that. I'll pull one card to help us get through that. Page of Cups reversed. Yeah, we got to be excited. We got to put our emotions forward. We can't keep holding our emotions back. I'll be honest with you. This is also, taking things too serious or being around too serious of people is just not fun. And people who aren't excited about the world that's possible for love, ooh, owie mama. We did get Cancer. We got that in the third house, and we got that with Jupiter. Jupiter, third Cancer. This is about an environment of love and happiness and comfort, and more importantly, communicating how you really feel and seeing the benefits from that. But if you're going to hold in and not say what you need to say, if you're in a relationship or you're single to somebody or whatever, and you're just going to let these emotions just keep blowing up like a balloon and not say anything, you're going to pop.